Now that all of the formal introductions have been made, the time for talk is over. The time to put up is now. XWA Firebrand title on the line. Jaxon Stone answering the call made by Trigga the OG. Earlier in our broadcast, the claim was made that no one in attendance could battle with the likes of Trigga. Jaxon Stone looking to make a liar out of that man and looking to make a Firebrand champion out of himself here tonight.
Trigga having a little trouble relinquishing the championship over to our referee, giving it a nice hug.
It's a nice belt. I'd hug it.
Well, it's something he holds so very dear. It is something that has literally possessed his mind, body, and soul for months on end.
There she blows. XWA's Firebrand Championship.
The signature chains of Trigga the OG being tucked carefully away in that hat.
He's got to get all his jewelry off.
I'm sure Picture Dave will take care of it.
Picture Dave will probably pawn it.
He could. He needs a new camera.
We're underway.
The odor of Trigga's cigar still lingers in the air here at the XWA Event Center. Starting off the second half of our show on Thursday Night Throwdown, Jaxon Stone, Trigga the OG for the Firebrand title.
You know, we've talked about the personalities of these two on end. Let's break this down physically. Very similar statures. Jaxon Stone having a slight height advantage, having himself a reach advantage as well. Where he does not have the advantage is experience. Trigga, the OG, has been in this sport for over 15 years, and it's just now that he's truly come into his own. A very battle-hardened veteran. Jaxon Stone better keep his eyes open.
Collar and elbow tie-up leads to side headlock by Stone. Whip across now, and a nice job holding on real tight. Stone with the advantage.
Trigga working that chin of Jaxon Stone, trying to break the hold as he does. Shot to the ribs. Jaxon Stone with the headlock takeover. Back in control. Lights, camera, Jaxon, everybody.
Trigga now grabbing at that hair. That side headlock is applied rather tightly. The OG makes his way to his feet. Can he push Stone to the ropes? He does. Can he break the hold? No, oh, yes, he does as well. Drop down. Back to the headlock goes Stone. The strategy he came out with seems to be working out very well. We're just 2 minutes into this matchup.
So, Corey, new to both competitors here, who do you think's got the victory in the bag?
Boy, I mean, right, if I had a coin in my pocket, I would flip it in the air.
Well, I want to back that up and say it really is anyone's ball game. I mean, these two are very evenly matched, very similar styles about one another. Jaxon Stone launches himself off the ropes here. Misdirection, applies a shoulder block.
And Trigga a little confused. Getting into it with the ref, that's a mistake. And Stone.
There he goes, Trigga getting out of the way now. Should have done that after the first tackle. Would have cleared things up a little bit for himself. But right now, he's keeping his space from Jaxon Stone, everybody.
This is always the hallmark of a good champion, to try to dictate the pace of the match yourself instead of having your opponent take control of the timing of the match. And looks like Trigga might have had enough already, and he might be walking out of here.
Yeah, he's got every right to. I mean, Trigga didn't know he was having a title match tonight. He's just showing up to compete on Thursday Night Throwdown. Next thing you know, he's got a title match.
Well, I mean, that's the makings of a champion. I'm sorry. You can't just pick and choose your opponents at whim.
No, but you think you would advertise a title match.
He did go out and ask for it, so it's his fault entirely that he's now stuck defending the Firebrand Championship.
Either way, this is a hell of a matchup kicking off the second half. Hell of a night here, starting off with a fire alarm, ending off the Firebrand title on the line. Plus one more, huge main event we got coming up.
Stone catches that foot, and Trigga catches a chop to the chest, shoved off to the ropes now. Oh, nice job. Short elevation and a kick to the gut and a kick right to the chin. Will this be enough?
Very shallow 2 count. Trigga gets his shoulder up off the mat. Jaxon Stone is the one that's trying to turn things up a bit. If you notice, he's moving at a lot faster of a pace, trying to issue up that knockout blow. A testament to the methodology of these men. Trigga, he's looking to break down his opponent slowly, chip away, knowing that this is a marathon. Stone, he wants that flash knockout pin.
I think Jaxon Stone just wants that title.
Quick pinning attempt. It's 2 again. And Trigga looks like he's asking the referee for a little bit of a breather here. He's not going to get one, though. Stone right on top of him. Fireman carry pickup, nicely done. What's he going to do with him from here?
Trigga's trying to get out of it.
Oh, and I think he gouged him right in the eyes and clubbing forearm right to the back of the neck.
Typical MO of the ringleader here.
Trigga turned his back too early. Jaxon didn't go into the post like he intended.
Standing switch, beautifully done. And Stone is wincing in pain. You can see he's not quite himself. He's very much on the defensive here.
He's really favoring that left arm, and Trigga, that veteran knowledge, he goes right after it. Drops a hard knee on it.
Continues to work it, goes for leverage on that pin. Trigga expressing his displeasure with our family audience.
He's letting them know that they're number 1 in his heart.
He just doesn't count with the index, huh?
Yeah, no.
That's cool.
Look at this now. Trigga grasping at the boot here.
Picking him apart. Back to the arm now.
Oh, this is not going to bode well.
Standing on those fingers. Using the elevator as a pivot point. The elevator. The elbow. Using that elevator to his advantage.
That was the elbow vader, ladies and gentlemen.
Elbow vader.
That's how they make up names for this stuff, you know, mistakes, really.
Jaxon Stone on the outside. Trigga taking his time, catching his breath. In no rush to get back in touch with Jaxon Stone now as he comes around the outside. Takes the chop.
And Stone now is lighting up his opponent.
Oh, no.
But unfortunately for Jaxon Stone, they brought this right into Trigga's territory, the outside of the ring. The OG of Providence knows how to use the environment to his advantage.
You see Stone, he's still shaking that arm, that left arm, and he just took the shoulder right to that ring post, courtesy of the Firebrand champion, the OG Trigga. And look, really, at this point in the match, Stone is fighting with one arm. A couple of back elbows here trying to break away, and the champ does.
And there's that arm coming into play again, like you just mentioned. Really becoming a problem for Jaxon Stone. That right boot was not a problem, however. Threw that up, caught trips right across the face.
Oh. Ooh, that spinning heel kick lands as well. Jaxon Stone continues to fight through this pain. You're talking about a pair of men in this ring that have 2 very different backgrounds. Trigga, rooted in the streets, coming from the concrete jungles of Providence. Jaxon Stone, an actual minor league baseball player who decided to take his go at professional wrestling.
I'd say he made quite a go of it.
Trigga was really just leaning on that arm, putting all his weight directly into the shoulder area, and he's not letting up at all for 1 second.
Big pump kick hits its mark. Stone not able to make his way to a vertical base, and that continues to leave him in this vulnerable spot. Trigga now dishing out a little bit of soul food.
And look, taking his time now, pointing out some of his favorite fans here at the XWA Event Center.
He calls them basics.
Misses that kick, and ooh. A little bit of a pump handle low blow right there.
A pump handle to the pump handle.
Apparently.
Quite unorthodox. Trigga with a big swing and a miss now. Jaxon Stone not able to get his opponent over for a hip toss, but he's still offensive. Ooh, and he fights through even more pain to land that clothesline.
See, look though, Stone still holding that left arm, shaking it a little bit, trying to get some circulation going again. Fans trying to get behind him, give him a little bit of something to fight for. And Trigga's ready in the corner.
Oh! Standing Uranagi hits its mark. 2.9, ladies and gentlemen. Jaxon Stone so close to being the next Firebrand champion.
And both men now in dire straits. It'll be tough to see who's even going to get to their feet first. Stone actually looks like he's a little bit less bad shape there. That sounded great.
Wait.
Perfect.
Hey, you know what, man?
It's been a while,
so
you know.
good.
It's been a while.
It's easy to get blubbery, my friend, because he's riding high on some adrenaline. And it is something to watch to see him fight through this.
Oh, right into the mat.
Oof.
Ripcord driver into the canvas. Sets Trigga up quite nicely. But Jaxon Stone evades the submission attempt. Beautifully done.
Oh, into the corner. Mouthful of turnbuckle. Jaxon rolling Trigga out now, followed up by a big kick. Setting up for the suplex. Oh,
inverted shoulder breaker. Cover here. No!
So close.
That had to be. I thought that was 3.
I was convinced that was it. So was Stone. Both of these guys taking a moment to breathe in some air, and boy, do they need it. They've been at it now for 11 minutes.
And that shows you how tough the Firebrand champion, Trigga the OG, really is. And he is first to his feet.
Trigga getting out of the way. Maybe. Hanging out on the edge of the ring now. Jaxon Stone going over to grab him.
Oh, and wisely done right there. They're set up from the word go right there. And the champ up on the top. High rent district.
Whoa.
Oh, he misses big with that leg drop. Jaxon Stone delivers a pump kick, but he sends the champ out towards a barricade. That is not where the title can change hands, ladies and gentlemen.
I think Trigga might be out. Might as well turn that floor mat into his bed for the night.
Tough to see from this vantage point, but there does not look like there's a lot of movement going on over there.
I'm not catching anything coming up from the other side of the ring.
I see a hand.
I see a head poking out.
He's trying to get to his feet using that barricade.
Trigga's starting to crown.
Wait a minute. Trigga says exit stage left. He's using that champion's advantage for every bit it's worth. You're running away from this fight, and you know it.
And wait a second, maybe not. Right here, right next to us now. This is a dangerous part of town.
Look out for that wall. Jose built it.
Don't break the walls down.
Referee laying the 10 count on these guys, and they're back now.
I can feel him beneath me.
And that's not the first time John Roy has ever said that, ladies and gentlemen. Nonetheless, Tyler Calloway is issuing out his standing 5 count. Both competitors are fighting their way out from behind our staging area. And this just goes to show you what the Firebrand Championship means to professional wrestling, guys. The lengths these two are going to.
Count of 9. Can he get it in time?
Oh, no, and what a shame.
However,
see what the official announcement is.
Here is your winner of the match by a countout, Jaxon Stone.
Jaxon Stone gets the victory.
However,
The championship cannot change hands on a countout or a disqualification. Still, your Firebrand champion.
rightful champion.
Trigga, the OG.
And the OG salutes this XWA.